Hello, today we're going to make this gorgeous little amigurumi mouse. I've popped mine on a keychain. You don't have to do that, you can just have it as a mouse. You can see mine measures 8 centimetres. If you want it smaller than that, just use a smaller hook. I'm using a 3.5mm and my crochet cotton is from Poundland. I've just got a spot of pink. You can use red as well for the nose. You'll need a stitch marker, some safety eyes, a darning needle and some scissors. If you want to sew the eyes on instead, you can do that. So the first thing we do is a slip knot and then make 2 chain. And this is a no magic ring pattern. So what we're going to do is go into the top strand of that second chain from the hook and make 6 double crochets. I do work in UK terms. If you want to work in American, it's just a single crochet. That's really the only stitch you need for this pattern. So 6 double crochets into this space. And then we're going to pull that tail end tight so that that forms a circle, and this is going to be the bottom of your mouse. So you need to do your next stitch into the first double crochet that you made. So this is going to be the next, well, the first stitch of the next round, and this is where your stitch marker comes in. So I always do my stitch marker on the first stitch of every round, and then you know where you're coming back to. So this round is already round 2. So we've got 1 stitch in there. So we're going to do another stitch into, another double crochet into that stitch below. So each stitch going around this round has got 2 double crochets. So you want 12 by the end of this round. So we've got 3, 4, so 2 in each. So we're increasing. This is really simple amigurumi. 5, 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, 11 and 12. Okay, so that's round 2 done already. So round 3 is going to be, so we take the stitch marker out and we do 1 double crochet into that first stitch, pop your stitch marker back in, and then we do 2, so we're still increasing but by fewer on this round. So you should have a total of 18 by the time you get round to the end of this round. So you've got 1 and then 2. So you've got 1, single one, and then 1, 2. So if you continue like that, and I'll meet you back at the stitch marker. So the next round is round 4. Take your stitch marker out and do 1 double crochet into there, and then 1 double crochet into the next one. Pop your stitch marker back into that first double crochet. So the pattern on this round is 1, 1 and then 2 in the same one. So 2 in that one. So 1, 1 and 2. So you're aiming for 24 stitches by the end of this round. If you're not sure how to count the stitches, if you just look at the top, you've got little V's, and each one is a stitch. So same thing again, I'll meet you back at the stitch marker. So 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So that's the end of round 4. To start round 5, same thing, stitch marker out, do your first double crochet, stitch marker back in. Now rounds 5 and 6 are exactly the same. So what you need to do on this is 1 double crochet into each stitch round, and that will start to shape your mouse's bottom. I'll just show you on this one. So we're kind of here. We're going to start shaping now, and so you do 1 double crochet into each stitch round for round 5 and round 6, and I shall meet you back at the stitch marker after round 6. So 2 rounds of this, and I'll see you back at the stitch marker. So I've come to the end of round 6. You can see my work has started to shape, and this is the widest it's going to get. So round 7 we're going to start decreasing. So same principle, pop your next stitch in there, stitch marker back in, and then we're going to do 1 more double crochet, and then we're going to learn how to, or you might know already, how to double crochet 2 together. So put your hook in, catch hold and pull through, and then don't do anything with these 2 stitches yet, these 2 strands. Then pop your hook back through the next stitch, pull through, yarn round and pull through all 3, and that's made the 2 stitches below into 1 stitch at the top. So again we go 1 and 1, and then double crochet 2 together, and your work will start to shape inwards. So 1, 1 and 2 together. You just continue that round, and I'll meet you back at the stitch marker. That's round 7 done. Rounds 8 and 9 are exactly the same as round 5 and 6. So what you're going to do is start your round off, and then each just 1 double crochet into each stitch round, and you should be getting a lovely shape at this point. So 1 double crochet into each stitch round, and I shall meet you at the end of round 9. So two rounds of this. See you in a minute. Okay, so we're up to round 10, which is where we start decreasing quite drastically. So we're going to do 1 double crochet into each of the next 10, I'll say that again, 7 stitches. So that's 1, pop your stitch marker back in. So 7 double crochets into the next 7 stitches. So it's 1, 2, 3, 7, and then we're going to double crochet 2 together, and then you're going to do that again. So 1 in each of the next 7, and then double crochet the last 2 together, I'll meet you back at the stitch marker. So next is round 11, stitch marker out, and then we'll start round 11. So on this round we're going to do 6 double crochets and then double crochet 2 together. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then double crochet 2 together, so decreasing again, and do that again, 6 single ones and then double crochet in the last double crochet 2 together in the last one. See you at the stitch marker. Okay, next up is round 12. We're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches and then double crochet 2 together. So this is 1, stitch marker in, and then 2, 3, 5, double crochet 2 together, and repeat that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then double crochet 2 together, and I'll meet you back round here. The end of round 12 should start looking something like this. So I've got some toy stuffing. You can use a bit of old wool, you can use some fabric, whatever you've got. So we're going to stuff it now about 2/3 full, and it will still give us something to work with at the top. Stuff its bum quite firmly. So that'll do for now, and then we're going to top it up after another couple of rounds. So the next round, round 13, is double crochet 1 and then double crochet 2 together. So this is where we're going in to the point for its nose. So double crochet 1. Let's pop that stitch marker back in, because it gets even harder at this point to see where you are, and then double crochet 2 together. So 1, and then 2 together, and 1 and 2 together. The next stage you'll need your eyes if you've got them handy. So 1 and 2 together, and then between round 13 and 12 and 13, so we've just done 13, is where you're going to place your eyes. So if we say the top of the mouse is here, I'm going to use this one as a guide, and you can see there's a natural hole. You'll see the natural holes, and then I've got 2 stitches in between. So round about here. Now don't put the backs on until you've decided that that is where you want them. I'm not sure, I'm going to try it on the next one. I can always move it back. Yeah, that looks better. So pop your eyes where you're happy with them, and then get the backs, and we squidge that on, so that'll never come off. And do the same at the other side. Pop your safety eye back on. That's quite a stiff one. And then at this point we can add some more stuff in. And a tad more. I think that might do it. So the next round is going to finish off the front snozzle. I'm just going to pop a little bit more in. And then all we're going to do for the next round, you can get rid of the stitch marker now, is we're going to double crochet 2 together until you can go no more. So this will bring it more to a point that we want for the nose shape. And it helps if you pop your finger in the top of it. It will help you guide round. So 1, 2 together. And then I'm just going to see what I've got. I can probably do 1 or 2 more. It gets quite tricky at this stage and a bit fiddly. 1, 2, I think this might be my last stitch, but let's just double check. And through. So let's have a look. Yeah, that's the end of my mouse. You might be able to get another couple of stitches in. So what you need to do at this stage is leave a really long tail, kind of leave best part of 1 meter if you're not sure. Okay, and then fasten off, pull that tight. So this is what we've got so far. You can squish a bit of that stuff in towards the front, and then get your darning needle, and we need to get this long tail end that we've left, take it through and take it right through to the back of the mouse, because then this is going to be, I'm just going to take it to there so I don't catch anything. This is going to be the tail. I'm just working it through slowly so I don't catch any of that stuff in. And then it needs to come out in the middle of the tail, which on mine is there. So again, I'm really trying hard not to catch, there we go, not to catch the stuff in. So that's the front, and any imperfections here are going to be covered up by the little nose. So we need to turn and work a row of chain. We're going to get your hook back and fasten on. So to do this, take your hook through, catch hold, and then we're going to work a row of 15 chain. And then to make this tail at the end, all I've done is gone back and done a row of slip stitch. So from the second chain from the hook, in you go, pull through, and then pull through the one on the hook. And this makes quite a stiff little tail. If you want it thicker than that, you can always do some double crochets, but this size suits the size of the mouse. So catch hold, pull through, and just do a row of slip stitches down that tail end. I'll meet you back when I get to this point here. So all I'm doing back here is pulling the yarn through, crocheting back into the bottom of the mouse, pulling through with a slip stitch, pulling through, and then we can fasten that off and sew that tail end, this tail end in, not that tail end. And then we need to do the ears next. So to make the ears, grab your yarn again and make 2 chain, and then work 6 double crochets into the second chain from the hook. These are dead quick to make. Now this, instead of doing a circle with this, what we're going to do is pull that fairly tight to make an arc, and then we turn, make 1 chain, and then do a double crochet into each stitch to the end. And that should be 1 ear made. So obviously go ahead and make 2, and then if you meet me back after you've made your second one, and I'll show you how to sew them on, where to sew them on, and then we just need to do the nose. So that's one of my ears. I'll meet you back when we've got 2 ears to sew on. The ears are going to go somewhere kind of just down from the eyes, a couple of rows back, and just all I do is go kind of an overstitch round the edge, and if you want it kind of curved in the middle like this, just shape it as you go, catch hold and pull through, and it should just sew on like so. So I'll see you back when we've got ears on, and then I'll show you how to do the nose. So we've got ears. I've sewn the ends in as well, the tail ends. He's quite cute. So the next thing you need to do is find some pink, red, whatever colour you want to do the nose, and I've put a little knot in there just so it holds it, and then we're just going to do an overstitch in the front and just keep going until that front section looks like not sure what we're going to do about this bit. Let's take that in. I've got a stitch that's been naughty. I'll go over that. And we're aiming to look something like this one. This one was really behaving. Oh, I think we've done it now. I think we're there. So just a few times over. There, that's good. And make sure your stuffing is all filled in the right places. I'm really liking this mouse. Let's compare it with the other one in a minute. So all I need to say is thank you so much for supporting my channel. If you've got through this far, really appreciate it as I try to grow the channel. I've got loads of little cutesy things to make with you, and if you could subscribe, that really helps the YouTube algorithm and all that. So thank you so much. Let me just chop that off and we'll compare. So then if you want to attach anything, you can do it here, or you can attach something in the top there. You don't need to sew anything on. You can just loop it on. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you on the next one.